Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm really happy you're here. Today we're talking about a song you've almost definitely heard, even if you're not a hardcore rock fan. It's loud, it's confrontational, and it refuses to blend into the background. We're diving into the meaning, impact, and lasting relevance of Green Day's American Idiot, and why its lyrics still spark conversations years after it first dropped. When American Idiot came out in the mid-2000s, it felt like a punch through the speakers. From the very first seconds, the song wasn't asking politely for attention, it was demanding it. And that alone tells you a lot. This wasn't music meant to comfort you or fade into a playlist. It was meant to challenge you. But challenge you to do what exactly? To listen more closely, to question what you're being told, or maybe to question yourself. At its core, the song is a reaction to a culture saturated with fear, media overload, and simplified narratives. The lyrics criticize how information can be packaged into digestible sound bites, where outrage travels faster than understanding. Think about that for a second. How often do we react to headlines without digging deeper? How often do we let someone else decide what we should be angry about, afraid of, or distracted by? One of the most powerful ideas in the song is the tension between individuality and conformity. The lyrics push back against the idea of blindly following the crowd, especially when that crowd is being guided by loud voices with unclear motives. It's not saying everyone is wrong, but it is asking, are you thinking for yourself? And that question can feel uncomfortable because real thinking takes effort. The song also leans heavily into the idea of identity. There's a sense of frustration about being boxed into labels, stereotypes, and expectations. The lyrics suggest a society quick to judge, quick to divide, and slow to listen. And here's a thought worth sitting with. When we label people too quickly, are we actually protecting ourselves from understanding them? Musically, the aggressive punk sound reinforces the message. Punk has always been about resistance. Resistance to authority, to silence, to being told to stay in line. American Idiot uses that raw energy to amplify its lyrical message. The fast tempo, sharp guitar riffs, and shouted vocals mirror the chaos and noise the song is criticizing. It's almost like the music itself represents the overwhelming environment the lyrics are pushing back against. What's interesting is how different people interpret the song. Some hear it as a political protest, others see it as a broader cultural critique, and some just feel the emotional release of yelling along to it in their car. None of those interpretations are wrong. That's the power of strong songwriting. It meets people where they are. What does the song mean to you? Is it anger? Is it clarity? Or is it just a reminder to stay awake in a world that constantly tries to numb you? Another reason the lyrics still resonate is because the issues they point to never really went away. Media influence didn't disappear. Polarization didn't fade. If anything, the noise got louder. Social media added more voices, more opinions, and more pressure to pick sides quickly. So when you listen to American Idiot today, it almost feels like it was written for now. And that raises an interesting question. If a song written years ago still feels current, what does that say about how much we've actually changed? There's also a layer of self-awareness in the song that doesn't always get talked about. It's not just pointing fingers outward. It's also asking listeners to reflect inward. Are we consuming information responsibly? Are we questioning our own beliefs? Or are we just reacting? That kind of introspection isn't easy, but it's necessary. Over time, American Idiot became more than a song. It became a cultural reference point. It sparked debates, inspired a full concept album, and even made its way to Broadway. And that's fascinating. How does a punk protest song end up on a theater stage? Maybe because its core message isn't tied to one moment. It's tied to a mindset. And here's something else we're thinking about. Art doesn't have to give answers to be valuable. Sometimes its job is simply to ask the right questions. American Idiot doesn't tell you what to think. It tells you to think. In a world that often rewards quick reactions over deep understanding, that might be its most rebellious act. So the next time you hear that opening riff, maybe pause for a second. Beyond the volume and the attitude, there's a challenge hiding in the lyrics. A challenge to stay curious, to stay critical, and to remember that being informed is different from being influenced. Now I'd love to hear from you. When you listen to American Idiot, what stands out the most? The message, the energy, or the memories tied to when you first heard it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is one of those songs that means something different to everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into the stories and meanings behind iconic songs, make sure to like this video. It really helps the channel grow. Share it with a friend who loves music with something to say. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.